May isang pitchel ako sa tabi.
Pwede naman, Vivien.
Yeah. All right. Participants are now joining.
Diyan, napansin mo ang nasa likod ni Rhea.
Ano?
Massage chair.
Hindi ko nakikita.
All right.
Gabi pa kami naingit.
Yeah, let's maybe she's reconnecting. I took out my photo of you, my video na para kayo lang tatlo yung I think there are people na June. Go ahead.
Yeah, there are people there.
Welcome.
Let's give them a few seconds muna. Even across 30.
Oh, there are about 27 participants na.
27.
Okay.
All right.
Vicky and Luz Mercurio.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another exciting session of our PSTD's Chillax. I just can't imagine this is already the 8th session, and when we started, it was March, right? So we've gone a long way in terms of the topics that we have covered, and today it's going to be another exciting session with our moderator and our two panelists. But before we start, let's get to know more our participants for today. So can we have a quick poll? Yeah, so you can see in the screen, if you can do that quickly, just a few seconds. Just choose what type of talent development practitioner are you? Where are you calling from, whether Luzon, Visayas, or Mindanao? And is this your first time in PSTD Learn From Home series? Not necessarily Chillax, but even if you attended webinar or Chillax or other sessions of PSTD. So we'll give you a few minutes or few seconds, sorry. Yeah.
And how about you? Where are you calling from?
Wow.
Wow.
Majority are educator.
So we can see in the result, majority are educators. So welcome our teachers from the academy.
Yeah.
There are also 13% from consulting, and 7% are soft skills trainer. All right, and where are they calling from? Most are from Luzon. And then Visayas, oh, there's no one from Mindanao yet. All right, is this your first time in PSTD? 93%, this is good. 93% are actually attended the training and webinar before.
Mga
And
suki
then
na
also,
pala to.
mga suki, 7% are from are new, no? All right, so just a reminder before we start. So we will mute everyone to manage the flow of information. And then for the questions, you can use the Q&A. So pag may comment, you can use naman yung chat. But if it is a question, it's better that you use the Q&A tab of the Zoom. And then for those who are on live, we are also on live, right? Facebook. So you can also chat, and somebody will also take note of your messages. And then for today, we are honored. I'll introduce later on Rhea and Vivien. Our moderator will introduce them properly, but I also like to acknowledge their presence today. But let me introduce first our moderator. Our moderator for today, Adrian Robles, is a former president of PSTD. So definitely is not new to PSTD. And currently he's working as an assistant vice president for talent management of To Go Group Incorporated. He is also one of our proud Australian scholars. And without much further ado, let me hand over the proceedings to AJ, as we call him. So
Thank you,
AJ.
June. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm back, but this time as a moderator. No? So thank you for joining our Chillax session. This afternoon, I feel honored to introduce two of my idols in the industry. Pero mga kaedad ko lang yung mga yan, don't worry. I know them personally. They're my friends. So it's such an honor for me to be with them in this conversation. Let me introduce first our first panelist. Uh, Rhea Villanueva is currently the Director of HR Philippines for Collins Aerospace, uh, the world's largest aerospace company. She brings with her 18 years of combined experience in the airline and aerospace industries, previously working for the Philippines' largest carrier, Cebu Pacific. And now she's with the world's largest aerospace companies, Collins Space Aerospace of the United Technologies Group, where she works closely with all the business leaders, both in the Philippines and in the US, with the intent of future-proofing the business by developing strategic initiatives on leadership and organization development, culture enhancement, and employee engagement. Rhea graduated from De La Salle University, College of St. Benilde, with a degree of business management major in human resources. But prior to joining HR, she is also a learning and development and OD practitioner. So, ganyan ang caliber ng one of our panelists. So, let us welcome Rhea.
Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. Afternoon, AJ, Vivien, and everyone from PSTD. Thanks for inviting me. And
Good
to those who are
afternoon.
listening in, magandang hapon, everyone.
Good afternoon, Rhea. Kahit na nadidistract ako sa iyong massage chair sa likod. Pag may maganda
Huwag nilang
daw,
pansinin.
pag maganda daw yung question nyo later, baka she might invite you to use that massage chair. Hindi po yan business ni Rhea.
Hindi. Pero baka, pagka hindi maganda nangyari sa mundo.
Okay, now, our second panelist, eto. She's my former boss, kaya behave ako ngayon. She's also my mentor and a very good friend. Miss Vivien Arnobit. Vivien has over 25 years of experience in talent development kasi she started when she was 16. And Vivien, I used to work with Vivien in Meralco, but Vivien is now the director of I used to work with her when she was with Meralco as the head of learning and development and also as head of talent management and HR strategy. But currently, she's the executive director of the Meralco Power Academy. Meralco Power Academy handles external Meralco stakeholders and clients' development requirements. Vivien also spent 6 years as academic director of the Meralco Development Center and the First Pacific Leadership Academy. She obtained her bachelor's in psychology and master's in industrial relations from the University of the Philippines. She also has a diploma in training and development management from College of St. Benilde and also attended a certificate course in OD from the Ateneo de Manila. So as you can see, wow, highly caliber female executives ang ating panelists this afternoon. And I'm excited to learn from them and hear yung stories nila as we all struggles dito sa the current scenario that we are all experiencing. So, good afternoon, Vivien.
Hi, Adrian. Hi, Rhea. And hi, June. And hi, everyone.
Okay,
nice
thanks
to
for
be with you today.
Oo nga. Tagal natin di nagkita, Vivien. Dito
Oo
pa
nga
tayo
eh.
magkikita. Di matuloy-tuloy yung ating
Hanggang Facebook
coffee.
na lang.
Alright, so siguro before I ask you yung formal question, I want to ask both of you, what was your immediate response to this COVID thing? Yung all of a sudden, March 16, we were told na, no, you can no longer go to work, you have to stay at home. I want to ask both of you anong immediate response ng respective companies nyo. Let's start with Rhea.
Well, kasi we just, while this is, I don't know whether this is fortunate or unfortunate, no? Our business is located in Batangas, and we were just coming off the Taal volcano eruption. So medyo fresh pa kami when it came to crisis management. We had business continuity plans, etc. So medyo hasa pa kami at that point, and then COVID came. So while this is really something that is affecting a lot of businesses and it's not not in a good way, I think what we've done so far has been something that's helpful to the organization, because we, coming from the Taal volcano, we were able to have employees work from home, make sure that they're safe, all of the employee health and safety programs that we put in place, parang inulit lang namin siya ulit.
May template
So, parang nagkaroon ng template. While this is a different thing from an eruption, most of the things that we have are checklists in terms of ano yung mga kailangan namin gawin was already there. So thankfully, we're doing well for now.
Okay, thank you for that story, Rhea. How about you, Vivien? Sa dami ng pinagdaan ng crisis.
Tsaka sa mga annual na mga bagyo and everything, di ba? Ang Meralco, sanay naman sa ganyan. So, we will never be on leave pagdating sa powering, giving power to our customers. So, ang sa amin naman, yung working arrangements lang naman ang nabago. So, everybody in charge of, yung talagang frontliners namin, they reported, di ba? But the rest of the organization, since primary, syempre, yung health and safety, we all worked from home. Like kami, L&D, Power Academy, and most of HR, we were really, and we are still working from home.
Mhm.
Para lang, but yung delivery of service ng Meralco, patuloy lang yan. But
Okay.
please don't ask me about your bill.
Hindi po yan ang topic natin this afternoon. We will talk about another
Wag po.
learning and
1 hour,
development tayo.
1 hour lang
Yes.
tayo.
1 hour lang tayo.
Disclaimer lang. Okay, thank you, Vivien and Rhea. Actually, ang mas gusto kong tanungin, kasi you both is from yung a big organization who can afford to respond to a challenging times like this, di ba? But I wanna ask you, meron ba kayong na-experience na challenges or difficulties when we were siguro June, baka you can project yung question natin. Since we are all equally di ba, forced to shift to a digital way of learning or training, kayo ba in your organization, have you experienced any challenges or difficulties? Although both of you, nabanggit nyo na sanay na kayo sa crisis or meron ng template, but I want to know if you can share with us ano yung challenges that you've experienced.
Well, in our case, I think most of the organizations also experience the same thing, and I'd like to think so, because it's really more of infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
So while we want to go, say, work from home and everybody functioning as if they were in the office, or particularly
Medyo naghang si Rhea.
And you are developed. But
Rhea, medyo
because
naputol
of
ka ng mga 5 seconds.
infrastructure problems, internet, that's connectivity is one.
Okay, so infrastructure and connectivity.
AJ, sorry, I couldn't hear you earlier.
Medyo na-cut ka ng
Yeah,
mga 10 seconds, but you mentioned about infrastructure and connectivity as your
Yes.
difficulty.
In essence, yes, that's it. Yes.
Alright.
That's
What about
it.
you,
Maybe
Vivien?
kagaya nito, infrastructure
Okay.
din yan.
As you were saying it biglang, eto na, actual
Correct.
demo.
sobrang real-time example ni Rhea, di ba?
Yes.
But where are you now, Rhea? You're not in
I'm-
Batangas, right?
No, I'm in Manila right now.
You're in Manila. But you travel every day during the COVID thing?
Beginning April, yes. I started traveling back to the office. We started only working from home March until mid-April, and then back,
Okay.
and then we went back. I wanted to be there on the site.
Okay. Thank you, Rhea. What about you, Vivien? Ano pa yung mga challenges that you've experienced?
Well, alam naman natin digital, di ba, has been here for quite some time. And I think many companies have a digital infrastructure or a map that they're going to. Except that we all thought we had time, di ba? We all thought na we had time to have all of these presentations approved, to tweak our map, di ba? And to try out things little by little. All of a sudden, nagbago yung rules, di ba? And we had no choice. The only way, if you wanted to still continue doing training, is digital with all the distancing. And kami na-feel namin yan kasi talagang ang instruction sa amin talaga initially is no classroom training. So the only way that we could do it, especially those that really, really needed to be delivered, was online. Fortunately, andyan ang technology, di ba? And from yung Jody's discussion the other day, ang dami naman, it doesn't have to be expensive, di ba? Not everything is expensive. Buti na lang din kami, may mga naumpisahan na. So maraming mga pwede nang i-deliver via digital. Ang challenge namin, particularly for me because I'm in the Power Academy, 95% of our courses are technical. So all of these things rely very heavily on demonstration, di ba? Assessments, and all face-to-face learning. We're training linemen crews, we're training linemen how to climb the poles. Paano mo siyang gagawin ng digital? So itong lahat na to, we're still grappling with, because we are still in the process of converting many of our modules. But also on the part of the participants, naghahanap ng teacher, naghahanap ng facilitator, di ba? Kahit na sabihin mong very tech-savvy and they're used to having their smart devices, they still tell us nothing is still as good as, face-to-face discussions. And even if yung mga the Teams naman, and even Zoom, they have all their breakout sessions, iba pa rin yung nakikita mo yung mga co-participants mo, iba yung engagement. So, yung challenge of technology, it's there, di ba? The challenge of conversion, on L&D's part, the challenge of also knowing how to facilitate, kasi it's not a one-to-one conversion. You have an 8-hour training equals 8-hour digital. No way, di ba? Digital has to be compressed and all. And yung acceptance of the participants. So, all of these things, madaming nagre-react.
Well, thank you for sharing that, Vivien and Rhea, Kasi very interesting to note na a lot of people kasi ang when we talk about shifting to digital learning, ang pinag-uusapan agad are the limited resources na wala kaming technology, di ba? Parang wala naman kaming budget dyan. But hearing from your stories, you're saying na even if your company can afford it, di ba? Meron pa rin mga limitations, just like si Rhea nga, kasi you can't provide naman the same connectivity to everyone, di ba? To all the employees, di ba? Kila Vivien naman, she mentioned, meron kang infra, pero it's the type of course naman that you're supposed to run and the type of learners that you have ang medyo challenging, di ba? So it's nice to hear na even both of you who came from an organization who can afford digital learning are also experiencing the same challenges. So this is one of the things why we want to have this conversation for all Chillaxers para malaman natin na kung ano man yung struggles nyo at the moment, hindi po kayo nag-iisa. Kanya-kanya tayong
definitely.
may mga struggle.
Di ba, AJ, and Vivien, it's even if organizations na medyo advanced naman, kahit na wala pa nung pandemic, nagde-digital learning na sila. Hindi pa rin lahat ng courses pwede mong ilagay sa digital. Because some of the programs are best taught really face to face. Right? And in the classroom. So that's one of the challenges that we get.
Although the good thing about this, finally the leaders were able to experience pwede naman pala.
That's diba? True too. That's
kasi
true
dati,
too.
Parang whenever you share with them the e-learning thing or digital method, sasabihin nila, hindi naman lahat pwede dyan ganun. Wala silang patience. But now that there's no other option, biglang, yung mga executives niya, sila na nagdi-demand.
Find a way.
So
that's true.
All their meetings also are, di ba, online kami via Microsoft Teams. Dati pag nag-meeting yan, papasok lang sa room and everything is there. The secretary sets it up, di ba? Whoever's in charge will be in charge. Ngayon, kanya-kanya ng, di ba, device.
Ayun. Unless may virtual assistant.
Or yung mga anak.
Okay, this time we want to hear from the audience naman, from ating mga Chillaxers, no?
That will be interesting.
Yep. For our we have a poll question, and we want to ask you, how ready is your organization in moving to digital learning? Whether you're part of company or academic institution, a government agency, or even your own consulting firm, how ready is your org in moving to digital learning? We are interested to know. Rate it from 1 to 10. 10 being the most ready, 1 as least ready. And perhaps you can also use yung chat box to specify or to give us a little more details about your rating. Okay, perhaps we can look at the result. Majority nasa 5. Sana hindi stay yung typical Filipino vote daw. Mag-middle lang tayo.
Gitna.
King tape. Okay, so marami na rin na more than ready, and then there are still not that ready. Can we look at the chat box? Is there anyone here who would like to share with us ano yung mga story nyo? Who's willing to share? Bakit nyo nasabing ready kayo or not ready? Anyone? May actually may question dito Rhea and Vivien from Bea, Kilingan. Ang question niya dito, how can you engage more employees to enroll to digital learning, especially for those who are resistant to do so? Perhaps while the others are still voting, you may want to answer it. Anong niyo dyan, ikaw, Vivien?
Well, first of all, we have different kinds of courses kasi. There are courses that are required. May mga courses na you need to be certified in, di ba? Before you can perform certain jobs. Pagdating doon, I guess it's no longer a question of whether they are interested or motivated. They would need to. Of course, if they're interested and motivated, how wonderful, di ba? Wala nang pilitan. Pero may mga ganong courses. Ngayon, we also offer on the side things that may be of interest to them na sana they will also enroll in. Okay? And fortunately, nasanay na kasi for the last 2-3 years, meron naman kaming Facebook at work and everything. So, marami na ding digital savvy employees that are used to getting information and maybe bits of learning also digitally. So, not much of a challenge for that segment of our population.
Thank you, Vivien. How about you, Rhea?
In our case, same thing. We do have courses that are required and courses that are optional for the employees. If it's required, it goes through the whole process of elevation to an immediate superior if it's not taken during a specific time that you have given the employee. But if it comes to, I was thinking of how do you incentivize or how do you pique the interest of an employee? Normally they'd go for something that they're interested in, right? I'm sure there are a lot of people now, especially while they were staying at home, who go through courses on their own because that's something that's interesting to them. So maybe something that is maybe converting your learning portal into not just a learning portal for the organization's requirement, but also a learning portal for employee engagement, say interests that they have, whether it be music or cooking or anything. You put modules into that system because once they're there into the system already, then they'd see what are the other courses that I can take that are related to improving myself as a professional naman. So maybe that's one of the things that you can do for the courses that are just optional but you'd really want employees to take. Otherwise, make it a requirement and let it go through the whole process of elevation if it needs to be elevated because the employee didn't take it.
Or I think even if it's even if it's a required course, find a way to relate it with something more relevant at the moment.
Correct. And how do they need to know how does this parang what's in it for me? It's always the question, right? How does this help me in the future? Do I get a bigger possibility of going up through the career ladder because I have proactively involve myself in developing my skill sets and my competencies.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's good. And also to put in siguro a bit of fun and competition,
Mhm.
a little gamification, like yung mga learning passports
Yeah.
natin, di ba? Those that can fill it up or so many pages, or the bingo, the learning bingo, if you
Mhm.
enroll in so many courses, meron
Yeah.
kang konting, di ba, prize on the side,
Incentive,
incentive, di ba?
that would be interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Oh, okay, ano lang niya siya, one question, ang dami na nating learnings from our panelists. Okay, let's read some of their comments, no? Oy, Perfecto says, wala daw audio si Rhea, but I can hear Rhea.
Yeah, I can
Uh,
hear Rhea too.
si,
Oh,
okay, let's hear, okay, scroll up the list. Okay, si Marilyn Peñasco from DepEd mentioned about DepEd office allows different organizations to conduct different webinar sessions for teachers in order to prepare in digital learning. That's good, no?
yeah,
At,
that's very good.
at least we're not just requiring them, but we're actually equipping our teachers.
Mm-mm.
From Amor Kuraming, sabi naman, kilala ko to si Amor.
Kilala natin si Amor.
Kilala natin siya. Conversion of face-to-face sessions to digital takes a lot of consideration, content, activities, learners' experience, and facilitation requirements. Yeah.
That's true.
Jerry naman
That's very
mentioned,
true.
yep, Jerry mentioned the online platform is entirely different from face-to-face. It needs a lot of learning and relearning on both ends, from the trainer to the participants. Yes, we agree, Jerry.
Agree 100%.
And ang ano nga dyan is, don't worry guys, ano to, pantay-pantay tayo ngayon. Whatever you are experiencing, the difficulty in terms of technology, connectivity, and even yung ways of training people and engaging them, lahat ng organization are experiencing the same. Ba? Kaya nga, we are grateful to PSTD under the headship of John na we have this session kasi we want to learn from each other. Kaya tayo may mga chillax session. Alright? So I want to ask another question. Kung kanina I asked you as an organization how ready your organization is, another question that I want to ask, this is more personal. Okay? Nat, can we ask the next poll? This time I want to ask everyone in terms of your confidence level as a practitioner, or either a practitioner or part of the leadership team of the organization. How confident are you in moving to digital learning? And let's all be honest here. Kasi sabi nga kanina ni Vivien, ang naging issue is the time, no? Nagpi-prepare tayo dito. Hindi naman natin sinabi na kinaumagahan, yun na. Parang lahat naman may digital roadmap. Yung iba nauna na, pero talagang March 16, if I'm not mistaken, March 16, okay, lahat digital na. So, you as a practitioner, how confident are you now that we are forced to move to digital learning? And we're interested to see, wow.
No.
Mas maganda to.
Mas confident.
Oo.
Siguro
That's
tinanong ko,
good.
what made you feel confident? Parang sinagot nila Chillax session and
Chillax.
other...
And the sessions yesterday.
Yes.
Of
Yeah.
PSTD.
Siguro ito yung
Very
mga
helpful.
umattend ng session this week, no? Yung session kay Jovi where you were taught about, meron naman palang mga available resources. Sabi nga ni Vivien kanina, some of them are free, di ba? Ako rin, wala akong budget for this, pero nag-free lang ako for now sa mga training ko sa company. And then yesterday may session din tayo on how to do to shift from traditional to digital. Nakakatuwa naman na medyo maganda yung confidence level natin. But there are those who are very honest also in sharing na yung confidence level nila is medyo low pa. Don't worry guys, and the reason why I asked that question, kasi meron akong nalaman na magandang story from both our panelists. And Vivien, would you like to share your testimony? Lagyan ko ba ng background?
Uh,
Vivien, if you don't, I haven't mentioned pala, Vivien is also a professor teaching strategic human resource development sa Ateneo Grad School. So
no,
she
no,
will share with
UANP.
us, UANP, sorry, University of Asia and Pacific Grad School. And she will share with us her story. Kasi, ano yung story mo, Vivien?
Yes. Kasi this is the second year that I'm teaching the course, Strategic Human Capital Development. So, last year, syempre pure classroom yan. It's 8 Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So, you can just imagine, di ba, whole day yan with all of these activities. So, this is the second year. I was kind of caught by surprise kasi tinawagan ako syempre ng dean. Sabi, are you willing to convert to digital for your April run? And I barely had like a month to go. Pero syempre, I said yes. Kasi you have no option. And I love the course. I love to teach. So, ang struggle ko, aside from compressing, because that 8 hours cannot be the same as just 8 hours digital, di ba? Nako, you'll kill your participants if they don't kill you first. So, ang nangyari sa akin, yung nanibago ako, kasi doon sa delivery na you're just in front of your screen. Tapos yung students pa, although there's not too many, there's just like 7 of them, minsan they're on camera, minsan they're off. Di mo alam, nakikinig ba sila? Are they here? Baka nagluluto ng lunch na yung iba, di ba? Or kinukuha yung lunch delivery nila, you don't know. Right? So talagang the challenge there is as a facilitator or as an instructor, nanibago ako. Pati yung whenever you have to ask a question, it's not as, and you don't see the faces. Hindi katulad ng if it's face-to-face, di ba? You can see the reaction, you can see heads nodding and all. Although you can still see if their video is on. So, yun, yung resistance sa akin, yung una din, the different experience talaga of just talking to your laptop. And second, I had to let go of favorite activities that I could do in the classroom, but could no longer do online because it would just take too much time or too much effort or not physically possible. So yun, that was ouch for me. Medyo painful kasi pinurfect ko siya dun sa first year eh. Tapos, tinweak ko pa siya ng konti for the second year but I wasn't able to do it, di ba? So, yun. And the third, you kind of wonder always, engaged ba yung aking mga students? Are they learning what they're supposed to learn? Ang maganda naman doon, they're a very, very proactive and very cooperative, very bright bunch of students. And they also helped me with the technology. Sila yung nagmamanage ng screens, nagagawa ng lahat ng ganyan. So, it was a good experience. Although, I was anxious, going to the start of the course, I was anxious. Pero it's something na masasanay din tayo, no? I know there are academicians here in the group, maraming teachers. Huwag po tayong matakot. Maninibago tayo sa umpisa, pero kaya natin yan. With a lot of creativity.
So Vivien, UANP now is full online session.
Yes. And they use Canvas.
Okay. Thank you. Wow. Natutuwa ako pag mga ganyang situation na difficult situation to observe Vivien kasi she's always prim and proper. So mga ganyan lagi ako pag ako nagpapanik iniisip ko what would Vivien do? Kasi idol ko yan sa mga ganyan eh. Grace under pressure. Pero thank you for sharing that story, Vivien. Kasi that's one of the reason I ask you to share that story kasi I want to encourage everyone, our audience, na yun nga, hindi kayo nag-iisa sa mga, kung nagpapanik kayo, marami rin po sa atin na kahit seasoned L&D practitioners na are also adjusting. So, pare-pareho lang tayo. And also, si Rhea din, this time as a parent naman.
Oh, yeah.
So, ano yung story mo, Rhea?
Yeah, so it's because we're coming from yung story ni Vivien where it comes from on the side of the educator naman. And because marami tayong mga educators na participants today, what I'd like to share with them is, syempre, I know that they're trying their best to find ways to make sure that digital learning is something that they can do for their students, whether they're kids or in college or postgraduate schooling na siya. But for me, as a parent, no, one of the experiences that I had is in a Viber group with the parents of my son. Syempre, there's also sa kanila, they want to make sure that their kids do not get exposed. But there are certain schools who want to. I'm sure some of the teachers want to go, sana merong portion na nandun pa rin sila sa school. Hybrid learning tayo. Sometimes nasa classroom sila kahit na decreased group, tapos on rotation, and then most of the days it's also on virtual learning. To me naman, my experiences, yung mga parents na kasama ko dun sa class ng son ko, ayaw nila na hybrid learning. Gusto nila purely virtual kasi ayaw nilang i-expose yung kids while there is no vaccine yet that's available. But at the same time, my worry as a parent, no, and especially me who's a working parent, is how do I ensure that my son just spends his time learning rather than playing something on his gadget, especially if you give him something na he can use to for both. So it's also a challenge to think about it, and maybe I will learn from others too, no, kung paano ko i-handle yung ganong situation. It's also incentivizing, right? Maybe the principles of the organization ba na pag-i-incentivize, kailangan ko rin gawin sa anak ko. So I guess it's the flip side, no, coming from the receiver end naman.
Yep.
Vivien is on the giving end of how to teach it that way. It's from us, how do we receive it then, and how do we make it more successful? I really think it's a partnership between the educators and the parents, and it cannot be one that is not in agreement by both of them.
Yep. Have both of you experienced yung what they call the Zoom fatigue or MS Teams fatigue? Kasi ako na-experience ko na yan eh. Na parang yung sister ko asked me one time na, mag-Zoom naman tayo kasi hindi kami nagkikita-kita sa family. Sabi ko sa kanya, Zoom na naman, pagod na ako, the whole day na ako nag-Zoom, wag na lang. How about the two of you?
Zoom for meetings, diba? And greeting friends, diba? Getting together, also for family. Microsoft Teams naman for work. And actually, sobrang fatigue na sa Microsoft Teams na talagang physically bumigay na yung camera ko. Kaya every Microsoft Teams meeting, nakabaliktad ako. Kahapon kamiti ko yung boss ko nung nagbabay niya. Sabi niya, bye-bye, Vivien. Pero that's the way to go, di ba? And after a while, you get to appreciate. You don't have to drive to a meeting. And even if the meeting takes longer, you don't have to worry about the traffic going home. You can get your merienda anytime. It saves you time and ang bilis ng usapan. Yeah, pero it does, there is fatigue.
How about you, Rhea?
In my case, well, no, because I only got to use online March to April. Kasi nga I go back and I have reported back on site on a daily basis.
On site.
Yeah, and then when we do naman meetings, it's really with the US or UK, it's really about an hour, 2 hours in the evening. So it's not that bad. Hindi pa naman. Thankfully, hindi pa.
Thank you. There's an interesting question here na sagutin na natin para while we're talking about digital learning. From an anonymous attendee, sabi niya, how do you establish personal touch or connection in digital learning for courses that need that kind of approach? Example, self-awareness, conflict management, etc. How do you establish personal touch or connection in a digital learning space?
I think that go ahead, Vivien.
No, Rhea, go.
I was just gonna say that it's when you say digital learning, it doesn't necessarily have to be classroom, right? And with many students, your digital learning can also be on a one-on-one basis. That's where the personalized touch comes in. So that if you want to do a coaching, for example, or anything that you'd like to teach that is done through one-on-one basis, that helps a lot. It is your personal touch.
Yep.
Yes.
Thank you for saying that, Rhea, kasi yung PSTD has the TikTok activity where you can sign up for a short coaching and mentoring session, 15 minutes one-on-one coaching mentoring session
Yeah.
with some of our volunteers.
Yeah.
Yes, Vivien?
Same answer din kay Rhea, no? If it's like mentoring, coaching, yung mga individualized delivery. But if you are to do it like in a small batch, pareho pa rin if you were to do it in a classroom, frequent check-ins, just asking everybody all the time, giving them airtime, the chance to ask questions, and also frequent small group discussions with plenary sharing. So parang ganun pa rin, ang digital lang yung format. Of course, I'm not saying na it's 100% of the time you'll get all the feedback that you need, but you just have to do it the same way na you would if you were to deliver it in the traditional classroom manner.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can also do follow-ups na no?
Yes.
After
yes.
that, you can do follow-up
Oo.
with say you think that this person was not able to get the discussion as you'd like it to be, or not in the same level or as quick as the other participants. You can do a quick call and catch up and do your one-on-one individualized teaching.
And you can give more readings, more supplemental materials to those persons who need it. And like for example, do sa UANP class ko, I would from day one, the first thing I did was to give them my phone number and my email. So lahat ng mga follow-up questions, like for example, even things they're working on sa office, I said I am available for consulting.
Parang gusto ko na mag-enroll, Vivien.
Oo nga eh. Ang bait
para maging
talaga ni
professor
Ma'am
kita.
Vivien.
Diba?
Bait talaga.
Gusto ko kasi lahat uno eh.
O diba, Rhea? Enroll na tayo.
Enroll na tayo. Mag-login ako mamaya.
Ganyan talaga si Vivien. Refreshing. Alright, so I want to ask again, is there anyone from the audience who would like to share their stories? Just raise your hand. Gusto ko magtawag kaso baka masyado akong I might sound strict. Hindi ko kaya ang style ni Vivien na
voluntold.
Voluntold, yeah.
Just raise your hand if you wanna speak up because we will unmute you. But while you're thinking about that, I want to ask the last question for the audience. Yung next poll survey natin, but this time you will have to go to Mentimeter. And the reason why we want you to shift to Mentimeter because we want to capture yung input nyo. So you go to menti.com and use the code 460374. Menti.com 460374. And this time we want to ask you, aside from the lack of resources, what do you think is hindering people in your organization in embracing digital learning? Kasi kanina we've been talking about na yung lack of resources, yung infra, connectivity. This time we want to ask you, ano yung nakikita nyo? What's hindering them the people in your organization in embracing digital learning? Because this is a question that PSTD is really interested to know. Baka we will be able to address that. So I can see here, not open for change, organizational silence, management support, the lack of preparedness.
There's also lack of digital skills.
Lack of digital skills. Their budget. Other than budget, what about the people? Diba? What's stopping them? Yun, example is afraid to change. Organizational silence. Wow. Ganda naman term na yan. IT infra. But the question is really, what do you think? Okay, we know that they resistant to change, but ano yung nakikita nyong reason why they are resistant, why they are not open to change? And sa mga consultants in the room, opportunity to na makita natin the space where we can help them, diba? And even for PSTD, this will influence us in having a topic in the future where we can focus on helping or addressing these hindrances. Lack of digital skills. So since we're using a word cloud, the bigger the statement is, that means a lot of people are mentioning the same. So far, majority are mentioning lack of digital skills. And that's the reason why we had a session this week that talks about what are the different tools that you may use, and at the same time how you can shift from traditional to yung digital platform. And siguro ito nga yung ito yung things na we need to address as L&D practitioner in your organization. Sometimes they don't, it's not just they are stubborn, it's just that they don't know how, diba? So siguro yan yung yung one of the things that we can do. So is there anyone from the audience? Siguro we can sino yung gusto niyo tanungin dyan, Vivien? Rhea.
I was looking at the chat, no, and it's really there's one that I want to comment on. Kasi
sige.
they were talking about yun nga, connectivity of the schools, the teachers, etc. And I think it's an important thing for owners of educational institutions to look at not just how do you transition the teachers and teach them, kasi sabi nila meron naman daw mga programs to teach the teachers how to do digital teaching. But I think it's one of the things that they need to do is, even if you have the best teachers who can do online teaching, it really is the providing the resources to them. And one of the things that one of the biggest things that the school owners can do, or schools can do, is to partner with telcos to make sure that they are given a good infrastructure that they can leverage on and provide that to the teachers. The resources in itself is not just teaching them, but also the resource of the infrastructure.
Yep.
So, and I'm saying this because in our organization, when we got first hit by this pandemic, one of the things that we needed to look at was, how do we equip the employees? Yes, we will make them work from home. Yes, we will have them do their online learning from home. But how do we equip them, especially in our case where most of them are from the Batangas, Laguna area, and the infrastructure may not be as good as the one here in Manila? How do you then provide them with connectivity?
Yep.
I think that's one of the things that they need to put in a package for educators to make them more successful, and not just teaching them how to do it. Because then, if the going back now, if the organization provides for that kind of resource, then your employees, the teachers in this case, would be encouraged and looking forward to teaching, because they won't have the same challenges as when they don't have that kind of resource.
Thank you for saying that, Rhea, kasi that's also one of the reasons why we're having sessions like this, no? Kasi we want to influence the people in the industry, kasi we will make this available online, on Facebook, yung recorded session. So hearing this from people like you, we're hoping that we can influence the decision makers in the organization, or kahit sa atin within our circle of influence, di ba? Na you don't just tell people na this is how you should do it, but you have to be mindful of, did you equip them? Did you provide them with the necessary resources that they need? Yep.
Yeah.
How about you, Vivien? Is there anything?
I agree. Kasi I've Meralco and ako personally, we've been part of mga NGOs, no, professional organizations that really partner with academe, no, or the public schools. Like yung Power Academy, ang most of yung mga courses namin tsaka mga partners namin are really public schools, no. And maraming gustong tumulong na companies, eh. Like when we were active in PMAP a few years back, nung nagsimula yung senior high school immersion, every time na magko-call ang LGU ng meeting ng sino yung mga interesado tumulong, ang daming pumupunta na companies, no? They're all interested to help. Kaya lang minsan, hindi nila alam paano, or minsan masyadong hindi detalyado yung plano na binibigay on how you can help, or akala nila you have to have a lot of money, a big budget so that you can help. Pero actually, every little thing helps basta gusto mong tumulong at alam mo kung paano. So in the same way, ngayon, maganda siguro na ang call ng DepEd would be, aside from yung taking care of frontliners yan, bantayan naman natin yung education natin, di ba, the schools. Kasi nga, I'm sure, I hear it every day, wala munang papasok, di ba, hanggang walang vaccine, ganyan. So natural, yung mga students, hindi naman sila hihinto mag-aral, di ba? Ang mga teachers, hindi hihinto magturo. So there has to be a way, and yung malaking component niyan would be digital. So how do we all work together so that we can help, no, with content, kung kailangan ng mga teachers, also helping them in how to transition, di ba, from classroom to digital. At the same time, enhance yung mga ways na, kasi hindi naman lahat malilipat mo sa digital agad di ba?
Yep.
Kaya yung mga may iwan na hindi kayang i-digital, how do you also deliver so that students are safe? At yung mga mommies like Rhea, hindi matatakot papasukin yung mga bata. Minsan, di ba, to get mga learning packs nila or whatever.
Yeah. It would be nice to see, because I saw one of the comments, it would be nice to see organizations, big educational institutions coming together and finding a way to make digital learning something that works here in the Philippines. Tama si Vivien, no? Not just focusing on how to help the frontliners. Our educators are also the people who will be teaching the future of our country, the children, right? And even the ones who will be working. So it would be nice to see really big educational institutions coming together and banding together and putting all of their intelligence in one bowl and talking about how do we make this work for the entire country. And kasi right now what I see is one school is thinking of the best way, ayaw magpakopya ng isa, you know, it's parang it's still a competition. I think in this sense, it should be something that's geared towards co-opetition na. Oo, sure, magkaka-compete kayo in terms of the pool of students. But then when you make it, how do you make it more successful? Not just for one group, but successful for all of the students that are currently undergoing learning and issues because of this whole pandemic.
Thank
Pero
you.
you know, one silver lining from this COVID and everyone's on lockdown is that all of a sudden parang everyone wants to share. Diba? Kung baga dati you protect yung knowledge, or if it's a recipe, diba, you protect. Pero ngayon nauso yung ube pandesal, and now everyone's cooking ube pandesal, and you just search in the internet and you'll find all sorts of recipes. Everybody wants to share, diba? And I know magti-trickle down to sa schools, no, kung and everything. Pero one thing lang na medyo na-depress ako kaninang umaga, I read this news article na may high school student daw na nag-suicide because he is poor, and parang ayaw na daw niyang i-burden further yung family niya because they have to now buy smart devices so that he can go to school, or not go to school, but so that he can enroll, diba? Sana wala nang ganitong mangyari. I really hope na we can all work together so that no one else has to die because of, you know, fear that they cannot buy their smart gadgets and be part of, diba?
So nakakalungkot talaga yung shinare mo, Vivien. But before I focus on that, I just want to share na natutuwa ako hearing this input from both of you na nasa private institution, and yet ito yung concern nyo, which is very relevant at the moment because ito yung nararamdaman ng mga especially our teachers, di ba? So hearing this from you, ang ganda kasi you're sharing with us na you empathize with our educators, no? Di ba? and you're even suggesting things that we can help or what we can probably do. Even sa chat room, yun yung mga pinag-uusapan. Binanggit ni Owie and ni Perfecto yung having a strategic plan for the agency is important. Now I want to focus on yung last question natin. Dito lumabas sa poll natin, ang major reason na nakikita nilang why people are resistant is lack of digital skills. The others yung resistant to change. Yung last question natin, para matahinan natin yung mga question, ay yung responses nila. And nabanggit mo nga, Vivien, may isang bata na natakot siya or ayaw niya i-burden yung family niya. Ang feeling ko kasi it's the lack of understanding also ng ibang tao na when you say shifting to the digital learning, akala nila yun na yun. Diba? So if you can't afford it, if you have no infra or no technology, parang feeling mo wala ka na. Hindi ka na makakasabay. So that's why ang last question ko sa inyo is, what are the options that we can explore if our organization have limited resources, or we don't have the management support, or we lack the technology? Ano yung mga possible options that we may explore so that we can still catch up with this digital space given the limited resources? What suggestions on resourcefulness towards digital effort, especially sa org nyo, especially sa org with resource constraint? Ano yung pwede nyong i-share? What we can explore, particularly sa mga teachers natin?
Ako, ito kasi very fresh, kahapon lang to nangyari. So yung challenge nga of converting yung aming lineman training program into blended, di ba? Although initially ang sabi into digital. So yung mga consultants namin who teach the course are mga ex-linemen ng Meralco, now retired. So you can guess, no, marami sa kanila are already senior citizens. But you know, kahit si Amor na nandito, lagi sinasabi, kahit nakapikit yung mga yan, kayang magturo ng lineman training. Totoo yan. Pero now that we are challenging them to think of how the course can be delivered digitally, yung iba sa kanila nagre-react. Sabi nila, it can't be done. So I said, yung time na pwede pa tayong magsabi na it cannot be done, that's over. Mm-hmm. So now, it can be done. We have to move forward. But realistically, maybe not 100%. No, we still go blended. Yun lang online component has to increase. So, ang challenge dyan would be, I think mostly attitude also, the openness. Kasi once we say we should do it, the how may follow. The how may not be easy, but the how to do it, may mga lalabas dyan na mga creative ideas. And you know, people like to help creative people. So when they see na you're not bogged down by your limitations, diba? And you don't fall into depression just because things are difficult and you're very positive and all, somehow you attract more people into your cause. And they will all help. Okay? Syempre ako, I like to think na it's like that. No, but at the same time, also when we conduct our systems training, so these are all computer-based training. So, lagi yan, every batch may magtatanong, anong mangyayari kapag naghang yung system? So, ang laging sinasagot ng trainer, pag naghang ang system, hihinto ba ang trabaho? Ang sagot, hindi. Go back to manual. No? So, yung manual interfaces, hindi dapat nawawala. Kasi pag naghang yung system, pag nag-brown out ka or etc., kailangan meron kang manual. So in the same way, no, teachers, trainers, if you cannot convert to digital, ano yung maiiwan, the traditional or the manual? Maybe just enhance, maybe learning packs, job aids, more, you can use your phones, no, for calling yung mga ganyan. Marami pa ring ways na pwedeng tignan. So in the same way, this is how exactly I was talking to our consultants yesterday. So I think, no, it will always still be blended if you find your challenges or if you're challenged by lack of resources, don't stop. Just find creative ways.
Thank you, Vivien. Rhea?
Well, I think, no, tama yung sinabi ni Vivien. At this point, hindi natin pwedeng i-deny that it's going to be a blended learning path rather than it being just pure virtual. And one of the things that we can do, because we said hindi pwedeng lahat maituro digitally. What we have got going for us is that we are on GCQ now. So they've allowed interaction with other people. And we can take advantage of that. If it doesn't, while it may be more difficult logistically for maybe to send someone to an area that covers a specific number of your employees or the specific number of participants, and doing that multiple times. Kunyari, if you used to hold a class of 25, now you can hold a class of 5 in a specific area where halos pare-parehong nakatira yung participants mo. You can go localized like that and do still face-to-face learning, of course, with social distancing. And whatever it is that you can teach through online, then teach it through online. But those that you can't, you can go down that path mas logistical. As Vivien said, hindi na pwedeng sabihin yung, hindi pwedeng gawin yan. If you want to make it successful, we will find ways to make it successful.
Thank you, Rhea and Vivien. Sayang, bitin yung oras natin. I'm sure gusto pa natin magkwentuhan, pero pinalalabas na tayo sa restaurant kasi ini-imagine namin na nagkakape na kami sa restaurant. So, siguro, it deserves another session to talk about this. Pero let me just end my portion na two things lang na-realize ko, everyone. No matter how rich or can afford your company in supporting the digital technology, you will still experience challenges. Challenges maybe not in terms of providing the technology, but maybe yung manner of engaging your people. Diba? So, wag tayong kabahan na baka kami na pag-iiwanan ng iba kasi we can't afford, we have limited resources. No, pare-pareho tayo nag-struggle. In the same manner, even if you can afford it nga, kung hindi maganda yung foundation mo, or as a trainer in terms of training design and delivery, you will struggle. But if you have a solid foundation in training design and delivery, you'll be okay kasi there are people who can assist you in the technology part, diba? And you can combine that with your fundamental skills as a trainer. So with that, maraming salamat Rhea and Vivien. After this GCQ, makikipagkape ako sa inyo. And we will continue this conversation.
Yeah.
Ang ganda ng
We
mga
have a date.
usapan sa chat.
We have a date.
Lalo na kay Miss Jerry. Mr. Jerry, ang dami mong input but we don't have the time. So I need to turn it over to June Roy. Ito ang aming limitation, June. Maraming salamat, Vivien and Rhea.
All right. Yeah.
Thank you, AJ.
Thank you also.
Sama ako sa kapihan ninyo, ha?
Oo naman.
Ikaw ang taya.
So, as I was watching, I forgot that I'm an anchor. I really took the role of a learner and a participant while you were talking. So, chill na chill. And this is really the image of what Chillax is really all about. We are learning, we are chillaxing, and that's how learning should be, right? So my role today on the last part is to summarize the key takeaways of the discussions for the benefit of our participants. So I'll divide this into two aspects. One is the challenges and the other one are the options to address those challenges. So maganda yung challenges kasi lahat nag-i-end sa Sean. So madaling tandaan. Conversion challenge, facilitation challenge, adoption challenge. And dun sa adoption, ang lumitaw dun yung lack of digital skills as the primary challenge. I also took note of the poverty that was also mentioned by one of the participants, because when we talk about learning, we are also talking about the many workers who are still living below the poverty line, who don't have data, and who don't have internet connectivity. So how do we reach out to these learners in a digital way? So those are the challenges. Buti na lang, may mga options or solutions. So one thing that we should realize is, tama yung sinabi kanina, pantay-pantay tayo dito. Even for me, my name is June Roy. I've been in the training industry for about 25 years. And when we were shifting, I was shifting, I have no problem with face-to-face training. But for webinar, oh my, there's really a transition there. So it's an equalizer. We are all learners here. That's what we realize. That's why PSTD is here to help. So some of the options that were noted a while ago, what really stood out is blended. So when we go digital, tama yung sabi ni Vivien, it's not fully going into digital because there are skills that are difficult still to go into digital. Like paano ituturo talaga yung paglalineman, no? If you're going to train a carpenter, how do you train someone? Those are practical skills. And the other one is the one that I took note also, aside from going blended, is finding ways. So sabi nga, di ba, if there's will, there is a way. So, and this is really a test of our will to find ways because of all of these challenges. So, on behalf of PSTD, I really like, and of the participants, I really like to thank our Chillax moderator, AJ, and our Chillax panelists, Rhea and Vivien. You really did a wonderful job of making us chillax while learning. And last 1 minute, just to show what is next, what is in store for our audience. So for next week, we have 2 exciting trainings on coaching and mentoring. So mentoring our June 25, that would be mentoring in times of crisis. So how do you mentor in this time of crisis? So we have Maribel Aglipay for us to share her mentoring experience there. And on coaching, how do you coach in times of uncertainty? So that's not also easy. So there is our Julius Ordonez, also our master coach. He is well known for this topic. So that's going to be on June 23. So again, on behalf of our panelists, our moderator, the board of trustees, and the whole of PSTD, we thank you everyone for enjoying and learning for our Chillax session. So thank you very much, and have a good and great weekend. Bye everyone.
Happy weekend, everybody. Happy weekend.
Happy weekend.
To all the
Father's
daddies.
Day.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day!
And happy Father's Day! Yes, have a chillaxing Father's
Yeah.
Day. All right.